Hi guys, welcome back to Reading Euphoria. My name's Georgia and today I'm going to be giving you, well, I'm going to be telling you my most anticipated releases of January, February and March. So I'm going to do what I tried to do last year and I failed so bad at it just because of how uncommitted I was to BookTube, and that's sort of doing a most anticipated book releases for every 3 months of the year. So obviously January, February, March, and then do April, May, June, etc, etc, and do sort of 3 months together because I've got like 3 or 4 books for each month. So if I was to just do one video per month, it would be really short, which probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world because then you're then not listening to me speaking for about 20 minutes. But anyway, want to sort of keep it all in one. So yeah, I'm just going to crack on with the video. A couple of these books are already out. One of them I'm already reading and I'm absolutely loving already. But yeah, I'm just going to go through them all and I hope these books, well, I hope my books give you some inspiration for what you're going to pre-order and order for this year. So the first book is One of Us Is Next by Karen McManus. This book is the one that I've already started. Well, when I say I'm already started, I'm probably two-thirds of the way through this book at the moment, and this one is the sequel to Karen McManus's first book, One of Us Is Lying, and One of Us Is Lying followed 4 students, and there was basically a murder while they were in detention, and it was just all this big setup, and they got fully involved in it, and someone was framing them basically. This book then follows on from that, same characters, but it's predominantly based on sort of siblings and the students sort of in year or 2 years below them, but you then still see the big 4 that were in the main story, friends that are friends with them, etc. So you still see those characters around. But with this one, I've just got to the point where someone has been murdered, well, someone has died, and at the moment it's mainly sort of about the characters and their relationships with each other, and sort of getting a little bit more in depth, finding a lot more about their personality and what has sort of happened to them in the past. But I believe that now we're sort of getting more into the story and the drama and the mystery. So really loving this one so far. I'll obviously give sort of full details at the end of the month, and I'm sort of really enjoying being in this world that she has created again. So pick this one up. Next is Devil Darling Spy. Yeah, that's correct, by Matt Keeling. This book literally arrived on my doorstep today. Nice big hardback, which I loved. This book is the sequel to Orphan Monster Spy by Matt Keeling, which I did really like. I believe in the end I only gave it sort of a 3.5 stars. But I'm really excited to see then what happens with the main character Sarah going forwards. For those of you who don't know, this book is based in Nazi Germany. I'll just read you the blurb so you've got some idea. It just says, in this unbearably high stakes thriller, Sarah Goldstein, Jewish orphan turned secret weapon in the resistance against the Nazis, hunts a rogue German doctor whose germ warfare experiment has the potential to murder thousands with a single syringe. She will face the worst that humanity is capable of and have to find reasons to keep fighting. So this does sound really exciting. I love sort of the whole Nazi Germany era, so this is perfect for me, and I'm hoping that I love it a little bit more than the first one. If this one can be 4 stars, then that would be perfect. I'd be fulfilled. Next is The Night Country by Melissa Albert. This book is the second book to the Hazelwood, which if you've seen my TBR for this month, you'll know that I haven't read the Hazelwood yet. So you're probably questioning why this book is my most anticipated release of January. But this series just sounds so good. I am really excited to read the first one and then progress onto the second one. Loads of people love it, which is why this book has made my most anticipated video. I just need to get around to reading the first one. Obviously, I'm hoping that it's the case that I really love the Hazelwood and then I proceed on to them reading this one. I am a little bit nervous because I've obviously bought the book already. But you know, we'll just see. But I'll just read you the blurb as well for this one. says Alice has fought hard for a normal life, having escaped the hinterland, the strange pitch dark fairy tale world she was born into. She was washed up in New York City, determined to build a new future for herself. But when her fellow survivors start being brutally murdered, Alice must face the fact that the hinterland cannot be so easily escaped, and that from the shadows of her past, something or someone is coming for her. So it does sound fantastic. I think I just obviously need to read the first one and hopefully love that and then read on to the second one. So we'll see. The next book, which is coming out, I believe on the 6th of February, is The Wilder Girls by Rory Power. This book, I believe, is already out in America, so a lot of people have probably already read this, but my pre-release on Amazon is saying the 6th of February, so I'm very, very excited. This book is a thriller. I'm just going to read you the synopsis. It's been 18 months since the Raxa School for Girls was put under quarantine. Since the tox hit and pulled Hetty's life out from under her, it started slow. First, the teachers died one by one, then it began to infect the students, turning their bodies strange and foreign. Now cut off from the rest of the world and left to fend for themselves on their island home, the girls don't dare wander outside the school's fence, where the tox has made the woods wild and dangerous. They wait for the cure they were promised as the tox seeps into everything, but when Bayard goes missing, Hetty will do anything to find her, even if it means breaking quarantine and braving the horrors that braving the horrors that lie beyond the fence. And when she does, Hetty learns that there's more to their story, to their life at Raxter, than she could have ever thought true. So this sounds really, really dark and mysterious. It sounds like nothing that I've ever read before, so I'm very excited for this one to come out. Next is The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson. This book is the third book in the Truly Devious trilogy. You had Truly Devious, then you had The Vanishing Stair, now you've got The Hand on the Wall. So I think that what I've sort of seen, that people have read this already, it sort of answers every question that you've had in the series so far, which I am so excited for. I have absolutely loved this series. To be honest with you, I'm quite sad that it's coming to an end, because I've loved it so much that I just want her to keep writing books about Stevie. But yeah, I'm so excited for this one, and I'm really excited for it to come out. As I don't know if I already mentioned, this one's coming out on the 6th of February. Next is Of Curses and Kisses by Sandra Menon. This book I have got down is coming out on the 18th of February. This book is the start of a series, and just to read a little bit of the description to you, or the synopsis. Brand new series set in an elite international boarding school that's a contemporary spin on Beauty and the Beast. Will the princess save the beast? So this one does sound, I think it's like a contemporary, set obviously in an elite boarding school, beginning of a series as well, which is obviously brilliant. I don't really want to know much more about the plot as I go in. I have never read one of Sandra Menon's books. Obviously she had sort of When Dimple Met Rishi, and I believe, I can't remember the name of her second book, but I never got round to reading those ones. So I'm really excited for this one to come out, because it sounds more of my genre of book that I would want to read and what I'm interested in. So I'm hoping that I can then enjoy her writing at the same time. Next is Break the Fall by Jennifer Lacopelli. This book is coming out on the 20th of February. This book is actually really up my street because it's based in the world of gymnastics, and I used to be a gymnast myself when I was younger. So it's something that I'm really interested in. I still keep up to date with all the gymnastics that's going on, with sort of the Worlds, the Europeans, Olympics and everything like that. Either watch everything on the TV, or I actually buy tickets and I go and watch them. So really excited for this one to come out. I don't think I've ever really read a book about gymnastics, and this one does sound really good. I believe that the main character Audrey is going to the Olympics, and I believe it's her and her best friend could possibly be going together, but sort of where the plot goes from there, I'm not quite up to date. But just the fact that it's based on gymnastics, I just think it's just right up my street and I want to give it a go. So really excited for this one to come out. The next book is The Last Confession of Autumn Casterly, and this is by Meredith Tate. This book I believe comes out on the 1st of March. This book has, if you read the description on Goodreads, it literally says, if I stay meets one of us is lying in this gripping contemporary thriller. And to be honest with you, I haven't read any further, and I don't need to read any further to know that I really want to read this book. Yeah, it just sounds completely up my street because I love both of those books, and anything to do with thrillers, murder mysteries, anything like that is exactly the type of genre that I read. So I don't need to read any further, and I don't want to read any further with my thrillers because I want to be surprised. I don't want to be anticipating the plot before it's happened. So that is one of my probably most anticipated books over the next 3 months, and I'm so excited for it. The next book is called The Twin by Natasha Preston. This book I believe is coming out on the 3rd of March. This book is also a thriller. It's actually in this, the synopsis says, in this twisty psychological thriller from #1 New York bestselling author of The Cellar, Emmy finds out that her twin sister Iris is trying to push her out of her own life and might be responsible for their mother's death. I don't need to read any further. It sounds so far up my street, it's ridiculous. I don't believe this one's YA, I believe this one is an adult thriller, which is completely fine with me. I predominantly do read YA thrillers, but anything a little bit messed up is definitely a book for me. So I don't want to read any further with that one, but it is coming out on the 3rd of March, so I'm just letting you guys know. It sounds fantastic. Next is 3 Things I Know Are True by Betty Cully. This book I haven't actually read too much about. I've just sort of seen on a few people's TBRs and most anticipated releases of this year, and it just sounds really exciting. If I just read the first part of the synopsis to you, it just says, this moving debut novel in verse about a teenage girl dealing with the aftermath of an accident that nearly takes her brother's life is a stunning exploration of grief and the power of forgiveness. Just sounds really exciting. It sounds like it's going to be built up with a lot of emotion, and it's going to be able to show the relationship with a brother and sister. Also as well, I believe that she is friends with the person that caused the accident or the near death to her brother. So I believe it's sort of going in between those relationships and trying to sort of figure out what is right and what is wrong. So that does sound like a really moving topic to explore, sorting out which way she's going to go, and everything like that, sort of torn between what she believes is right and what she actually wants. So I'm really excited for this one. Like I said, I have just sort of picked it out from other people's TBRs and everything like that, so not 100% sure that I'm going to pick this one up, but it does sound like a really great book, so I'm hoping that I do. And the last book that I'm going to tell you about in this video is The Shadows Between Us by Tricia Levenseller. All I know about this book is that it's a fantasy, and that is all I need to know because Tricia Levenseller has written the book. I've absolutely loved, I've had Pirate King and The Siren Queen. I've read those 2 books, absolutely love it. I also have her other book, which is The Warrior of the Wild, and I need to get around to this one because I absolutely love her writing. It's just finding time to pick it up. So the fact that Tricia Levenseller has a new book that's coming out, I don't need to know any further. So I'm really excited to pick this one up. And if you haven't read any of her books before, make sure that you do. Right guys, that's it from me today. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Sorry that I can't go too in depth with each book. Otherwise, this would literally be a 40-minute long video. It would be ridiculous and you would be so bored. But if you see any of these books that sort of catch your eye in terms of sort of genre, or even the front cover looks appealing to you, go check them out, read the full description and get them pre-ordered because they are, well, they sound like brilliant books. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video and I'll see you again next week. Bye!